What's going on, YouTube? Quick lunch break reaction to this monkey. Let me see if I can find it. Is he still alive? Yeah, it shows that he's still alive. Shows that he is still alive. See what he's talking about. Shows up drunk, rambling all over the damn place, tries to be tough, only to find out this motherfucker is not even in Uganda talking all that toughness. Moved to Kenya. It's like, why everywhere but America, right? Everywhere but America. Why don't you bring your ass to the US if you're going to complain so much? If he's going to stay in Kenya, most likely, he will complain about Kenyans. That's what these people do, man. Let's see here. Disconnect from Bluetooth. All right. Getting used to this new setup. Let's go down here. All right. Let's get this. Okay. I see my feed. Of course, this was short notice. I only have about 15 to 20 minutes. It looks like he's still alive. I was on the Nana Kweku main channel when I got the notification. So I went in and just when I made my first comment, he timed me out. And that wasn't even a bad comment. That was just like a regular comment. It wasn't a bad comment at all. I was like, hey, just come home, man. I even called him bro. I said, bro, just come home. It's not hard. And so, he timed me out. And then I went over to my live channel, which is this one. And I got in there. I sent him a super chat, actually. Yeah, I sent him $20, but for some reason, I think he didn't read it. He didn't want to read it. And I didn't see it on the screen. So I was like, did he not receive it? Or what's going on? So I was like, yeah, it came out of my account, but it looks like he didn't want to read it. And then I sent the same comment from the first time. And he was like, well, come up here. I'm going to send you a link. Go put on some sandals. I'm going to salute to you, KF. It's like, go put on your sandals. I'm going to send you a link. I was like, okay, fine. Let's see if he's going to send a link. So I stayed on for like another 30, 40 minutes. He's timed me out, so I can't ask him to send me the link. And he looks at this as if sending the link is going to help my audience. I was like, no, I don't want your people to follow me. I kicked your people out of my other YouTube channel, technically kicked them out, and now my new content on that channel is getting more, and I'll show it to you. I'm only 3 or 4 videos in, and my new content is getting more impressions than anything that I've ever done in 6 months. So, of course, I know a thing or two about analytics. The new thing I'm doing on the main Nana Kweku channel, if you look at the comment section, the comments are more intelligent. The comments are better. The people that are commenting are more informed. They are staying on the issues. They are not threatening anybody. They are really talking about what the video is about and not about me. For the first time. Guess what? Why? Because there's not a lot of FBAs and FBA type content on the main Nana Kweku channel. So I get more mainstream viewers and more mainstream, mostly educated commentators that will literally comment on the topics. And that's beautiful. Blend that in with my original subscribers like KF and Kobe and Akinyi, and Rick. That makes a beautiful YouTube channel. And I like that. So every time I lose 2 or 3 of the blacks, I gain maybe 2 or 3 people that are more mainstream. And that's beautiful. It's going to take, I think within the next 6 months, it's going to even out. And that channel is going to grow enormously. I know that for a fact. On this one, I can talk about people like Oshay. Okay. On this one, I can talk about Anton and all these other stuff that they do because this is the entertainment channel, right? And I'm glad KF is on because I want to know who this Agaba guy is. I want to see what it looks like, what it sounds like, to see if I can pick out a thing or two of who he actually is, and if there were some signs that I could see from an African's perspective, and if Oshay was just a sucker, which I really think that's what it was. He was just trying to be friends with all these guys, and they took advantage of him. He's a lame. He's a piece of shit, really, is what he is. This is why he was threatened or intimidated by me just being in his comment section. I allow people that I disagree with in my comment section. I'll call them out and I'll say all kinds of shit about them, but at least I'll allow them to comment. This ninja goes in there and blocks me, tells me I'm stalking him. No, you do content that is very disparaging to my people. So I always have to watch to see the shit that you're talking about so that I can debunk it to the people that have, more, I would say the people that have a more centrist view instead of your BS Black American propaganda that you're sowing and spreading across Africa. In the end of his live stream, he kind of clearly admits that a lot of the people that are doing the scamming, except for these two Ugandan dudes that he got himself entangled with, most of the guys that are really doing the scamming are mostly the same Black American guys that have moved to Africa, the quote-unquote so-called Pan-Africans. All I'm saying is that these guys are just problems, bro. They're just giving us too many problems that and he's still telling people to come to Africa. I was like, bro, don't you get the point? We don't want you guys over there. He's like, well, yeah, you live in Texas. Well, yeah, you're not a majority. If this was a majority Black country, I won't be here. I'm here because of the white folks, bro. I'm not here because of you. You guys can build shit. If you people run this place, my ass will not be here. I'll be with my people. And that's why I go home a lot too, right? I don't think your people are competent enough for me to invest my entire existence in America. Even if my corporate CEO was one of these guys, I'd be very wary. I don't even know if I'll work for that organization. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest, man. I don't think these people are capable. It may sound a bit harsh, but it is the truth. I'm going based on BLS data, available data. I'm looking at the most important sectors of our human existence, like the sciences, medicine, engineering, mathematics, physics, things like that build community societies. And then at the blue collar level, I'm looking at things like construction, building, using your hands to build stuff, machinery, CNC machinery, building roads, building infrastructure, brick by brick. These people are not capable. When is the last time you saw an all-Black construction crew? I've never seen it in 20 years. It doesn't exist. Even in the blackest city of America, you will not find capable Black men and women that are building houses from one 2x4 to the next. I have not seen it. Not a siding crew, not a plumbing crew, not a roofing crew. I don't see it. Todo que lo he visto, hablan español. Okay? All that I've seen, they speak Spanish. Okay? That's all that I've seen across the United States. And I've lived in North Dakota. I've lived in Illinois, where I went to college. I lived in San Antonio, Texas, and in Allen, Texas, and now in Prosper, Texas. Okay, all these places, I have not seen it. I really haven't seen it. And I've traveled to literally all states but Maine and Vermont. Those are New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont are the only places that I haven't been. I've been to every other state. Okay. Oh, and Alaska. I skipped Alaska, but I think I'll make up Alaska here in the future. But let's go ahead and listen to this idiot. You said, well, you thought the FBA built the Los Angeles? What is that? Is it Aqueduct? What is that? What is Aqueduct? I don't know. I don't think they're capable, bro. They're not capable.
Road G Parkway though. It's you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like government housing over there, I think.
Okay, so it looks
Black
like
Americans, even though motherfuckers don't get caught up in that bullshit, whatever. This is different from Kampala, where if somebody know you don't really talk to you, shit, like every now and then they might know you, all type of shit, right? Boom. So I'm back. And
So he's not even in Uganda. He skipped. I was like, I knew from, if you remember from yesterday's live stream, I was saying the things he's saying and projected to his American audience that he's a tough dude from Del Paso Heights. He's lived in Africa long enough to know that what he's saying is bullshit. Like what he's saying can make his life. I'm not saying that it's in a threatening way. I'm saying that it can squeeze him in a country like a Uganda that is authoritarian. And he admits in today's live stream that the guy has some connections in the ruling party and he's a member of the tribe of the ruling party. I knew this for a fact as an African. You don't get certain jobs in corporate Africa if you don't have connections. You don't. It doesn't matter what your education is. You could go to Harvard. If you don't have connections, you don't get into certain positions. They don't care where you got your degree from. They care who you know. That is one of the problems. I'm not saying that proudly. That is one of the problems of the African system that I personally don't like. It's a little bit more nepotism instead of a meritocracy. And I said that part of Africa's next step of development is to completely get away from nepotism and move into a sphere of meritocracy. But nepotism is everywhere, not just in Africa. It's here too. I mean, and even though I'm a Republican, a lot of Trump's family is still in government, right? And his friends are still in government. So it happens. It happens everywhere. Even in the most advanced of all countries, these things will happen, okay? So that is a problem that Africa needs to address. This guy is he's trying to expose some very powerful people in Uganda for clicks and views. Fine, no problem. And he's trying to do it to make his Black American base very happy and very excited, especially at the time when these diaspora wars are in full gear. This is the prime opportune time for him to do this shit. This is why he doesn't do this on his main Oshay Duke Jackson channel, that he does it on the quote-unquote that what was supposed to be a Pan-African channel that he set up. Fine. He's doing this because he's in Kenya. And I have a feeling he's not going back. I mean, he's got his board in the back. It looks like he's in Kenya for an extended period, and most likely he's going to leave. After doing this thing to these guys, whether it's true or not, I think he just can't progress the way Uganda is structured. I don't think he's going to do well outside of his YouTube dealings. I don't think he'll be able to get into any other space if his long-term strategic plan is to remain in Africa long-term. You got to somehow invest. You're not going to be doing this when you're 60 and 70 years old. Maybe he would. I don't know. But at some point, you have to start thinking about he's 40-something, the next 20 years, what is your life going to look like? Are you going to look at some instruments, like some investment instruments that will ease the amount of content you do, or are you going to do content through other creators, like bring other creators up so that you don't really have to do the video, you can just be backstage? But Oshay Duke Jackson as a platform is him. It's all him. It's not the other people around him. So I don't see a part of his strategy where he is not camera facing. He's got to be there somewhere, right? Which is why for his long-term strategy of living in Africa, he has to try to scale up in the corporate part of Africa, which I think is what got him into all this mess. But he was doing it also in sectors that he knew, which is like, you know, media spaces, social media creation, that type of digital monetization, which he knows. He's an expert at it. I'm never going to take away people's talents. You know, if he has it, I'll give it to him. He does have it. That's what he makes his money off of. He has a lot of skills and experience in this space. And he can make even more money than he currently does if he decides to live stream every day or put in a few more channels and, you know, restart some of his old channels. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to find a way to make even more money if he wants to. But he's doing this not because he's a tough dude from Del Paso Heights. He's doing this because he's out of town. And he's going to try to negotiate with those guys. He's going to shame them, get the likes, the clicks, and the views. Then he's going to circle back around because he has a little bit of leverage for shaming these guys. He's going to circle back around, hash it out with them, and this story will be gone. And then when he feels that it's no longer a threat, he will then decide to move back to Uganda. But for now, it looks like he's skipping town. So all this tough talk he was doing yesterday, he was only able to do it because he's not in Uganda. I want him to go back to Uganda and let's start there. Let's start criticizing Museveni. You think Oshay can do that? Hell no, he cannot. These people just talk out of their asses, man. They have this projection like Black America is this strong group of men that are so tough, street tough, that they can go anywhere in the world. And, you know, like KF sent me a video of a guy, a black guy, that talked about how he handled some Kenyan policemen and shit like that. You people are going to get your asses killed, man. These people eat humans for breakfast. Okay? They are not on your loose talk with guns. They're not doing gun shit over there. Okay? They don't do that shit over there. They don't need a gun to prove they are tough people. Okay? So hold off them horses, man. Keep it here at home. Keep it here at home. And I don't know why on one side of the video he's telling people about all the stuff that is wrong with Africa, but then he was also trying to tell people that Africa has to be a 10-year plan for people that want to move there. No, we don't want anybody to move there. That's the whole point, Oshay. We're not interested in your group moving there. It's cultural infiltration, it's blood dilution. It's a whole kind of stuff that we don't want to deal with. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff that we don't want to deal with. We're not interested.
You feel me? Like, I just keep hearing somebody call my motherfucking name. Oshay. So I stop. The person in the car, park the car. Fat nigga get up the car. Yo, what's up, man? He's shaking my hand all hard and shit or whatever. Like, whatever, whatever. Oh, bro, what's going on? Yeah, what's up, man? You know, how you doing? And I'm on that type of time, like, nigga, I gotta go. So I go back and I tell a guy about all this shit. I said, look, man, I seen this nigga today. Shit bothering me, right? I seen this nigga.
Salute to you, Sagat. I'm still looking for this guy. Whoever that Agaba guy is, I'm looking for him. I want to find who he is. I want to know what he looks like. So, KF, if you have any previous videos of Agaba and Oshay, please let me know. Oh, that's the Los Angeles River. KF is saying, how can he be tough? When back in the day, he would complain on Google Hangouts that the women in Del Paso Heights used to beat him up in public. Yeah, I remember you told me that. This guy is full of it, man. All this crap he was talking about. Why are all these telemarketers calling me today? All this crap that he was talking about, this dude, this dude is hiding out in Kenya while talking tough about Ugandans. Come on, man. And I was like, why did he even admit it? Because I could tell from the background, I was like, this guy's not in Uganda. You know, he already skipped town and talking tough like as if he's in Uganda.
On the side of the road, he pulled over his car. He come out and talk to me into the type of shit. And this is what the nigga doing. This is what happened to the I got about the V. He said, look, man, I hear what you're saying, but you don't want to cut him off.
The live chats. That's what
because you never know what he's gonna be. And this is Uganda. You always might need somebody. And we had an event that was coming up, and so the question was, would I invite him? So I said, man, the nigga can't come to my shit no more, man. You know, whatever. So okay, fine. I called the dude. Boop, boop. He like, yeah, man, what's up? I said, look, bro. The reason why I was really not fucking with you that day, because I heard what you said to the girl. Oh, I didn't say that. I said, nigga, you said that shit. I said, you said it and you a motherfucking lie. I know that you said it because she told me that you said it and she didn't know about the first incident. You definitely said it. What happened to the DJ? That wasn't my friend. I met him through somebody else. He's still out there, whatever. I ain't got no problem with him. Well, my mama ain't gonna, he a cool nigga. You know, we just, like I said, I don't really fuck with him like that because we just don't vibe. That's all it is. You know, you be around a motherfucker, they just ain't your people. That's all. He ain't do nothing to me. I just don't fuck with him like that. That's all it is. He don't fuck with me like that. It don't mean that he a bad person or nothing like that. I just don't fuck with him. So you trying to lie? I said, nigga, I know you said that. I said, let me tell you something, bro. Oh my mama, I don't like how you do shit. Nigga, you move real slimy and that type of shit right there. Like on everything I love, nigga, you just really like dusty and shit, nigga, with your bullshit. And nigga, so you can't be around me no more, my nigga. Like real talk. You can't be around me no more, my nigga. I don't want you around me, my nigga. Like the niggas is like you. I don't really fuck with niggas like you like that. Man, so you making a big mistake. I said, nigga, it ain't nothing that you have that I want. Ain't nothing. So, all right, man, whatever. I said, yeah, man, you know, you just go your way, I'm gonna go mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hate on you, whatever. Just do your thing and you got it, nigga. On the podcast I had, you know how I do. You know what I'm saying? When I get on the motherfucking podcast, nigga, it should be popping. You know how I do. Now I'm gonna come back to Uganda. I'm about to buy like 1,000 worth of cookies and get hella heart disease. Them motherfuckers was good. So I'm like looking after they, you know, like they kids and shit, they fucking with me and everything. Like I love them. I still love them so much. So he didn't get them, right? Boom. Let's fast forward. Now I had told y'all this story because you know niggas always telling stories long as fuck because that's what we do. So I get an email one day. Jonita was on the email that day or whatever, you feel me? So Jonita said, you gotta look at this shit right here. Now, before we had got an email, somebody said that he had scammed them, right? Do you want to come on to the show, bro? Let me send you a link. I know you want.
This is it.
Is it the same guy?
Hey, I don't think Oshay goes to sleep peacefully after he discovered me, and that was the old channel. I've kind of doubted back a little bit, you know, if he didn't make these videos. I actually saw the video from Afro Think Tank. If you see on the right tab, that video on the right, let me skip. Let me skip it here so you can get like a full glance of it. This is the video that I first saw, Afro Think Tank Futurism or Afro Think Tank, that Oshay had made a live stream. So this is when I found out about it because I watch Afro Think Tank. And I did disagree with part of his take, but which is fine. You know, it's always a good thing to agree and disagree on certain things. And I can point out to him specifically the parts that I disagree with. I think I touched on some of it yesterday, right? But that's how I found out that he was gone back on these live stream runs. Because the last time he was doing live streams and I got on these chats, he just decided not to do live streams again because it was very uncomfortable. I threw him off. I'm not trying to like take all credit for it, but I know from people's reactions when they do that. But what I observed with this particular interaction with him is I'm really getting under his skin. So he was going to do the suicide move of having me come on his live. He was asking me to come on this particular live. He's asking me to come on it. And I was like, yeah, let me get ready. I wasn't going to change or anything. He's like, yeah, you could go change. No, I'm working. So I was like, I'm not going to change. I don't care. It's not like this is a state thing. But when he said that, I was starting to prepare my mind for joining, because I was gonna take him up on it, but he kept making it sound like that he bringing me on is doing me a favor, and I was like, matter of fact, I don't need no favor from you. I don't need to grow the live channel. The live channel is a place where I come and speak my mind, and the people that like what I talk about can tune in live and listen to. You know, that's it. The main channel is where I do regular YouTube, and the YouTube that I'm doing there now has nothing to do with the black community. It's just general politics. I'm talking about general political issues, general financial issues, the things that are important. That's what the main channel is. I'm changing I have actually succeeded in tweaking the algorithm in just a few weeks. So it's getting there. I'm slowly deleting the ninja stuff away from there. Today I'm gonna start with the community tab. So you're gonna see some of my community tab commentary deleted, because I don't want my new audience to see the kind of things I was posting on the community tab. I want them to understand that this is now the new direction that we're going, and we're never going back. So that's what the other channel is. This is why you see that the live streams on that channel is being deleted slowly. It's not like I'm hiding stuff. No, I'm not. I'm just slowly deleting them so that the channel is focused and the algorithm is well trained. You know, that's why I'm doing that. And then I'm bringing all the entertainment stuff and the reactionary stuff to this part, which is a completely different channel. And I'll be honest with you, on this part of the YouTube space, I don't care about growth. I don't even care if it's 50 people. I don't need this to grow. That's why I don't think I even do like any keywords or serious video descriptions. I'm using the same video description of yesterday for today's live stream. I just changed the title. That's it. This is going to be a very low effort, strictly live streaming YouTube platform. This is just all this is going to do. Just live it up. And then I can go in if there are some important moments. I can go in and chop it up and maybe make that into small segments for the people that don't want to watch the entire show. That's why I've separated the two. But I was preparing for him. I was going to go on. And I was asking myself, should I go on with a combative approach or should I go on and systemically break him down? And the way I was planning this, and I know he had a strategy, but his strategy was spontaneous. And normally people that do things spontaneously like that, there's a high and he's drinking. So he's drinking. He's angered by my presence. I've put a lot of pressure on him. He's making a spontaneous decision, which is usually not the best way to make a decision. And then he's going to bring me on a few minutes after he's done with all his rambling. That gives me enough time. People like me, all I need, because my talking points are exact. They really never change. So all I need is a good 10 minutes to pick a strategy that I'm going to use. And my strategy was not going to be pounding punch for punch. I was going to choose a strategy where I ask him a set of questions. That's all. I wasn't going to argue back and forth. I was just going to ask him like little questions. Who scammed you? How much money did they take? Well, have you ever been scammed here in the US before? You know, what was your background leading into making these business moves in Uganda? Why Uganda? Okay. I've heard allegations about how you've treated some female workers in Uganda. Can you explain that? Those were the things I was going to do to him. And I knew I was going to get deeper and deeper under his skin. And he has an audience to protect. I don't. Okay. I don't. And he's gonna bring, people are hungry on YouTube for entertainment. So what he's gonna do now is he's gonna bring all those Kenganda guys to my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Even though I bash them, some of them still sit through it because what I'm saying is true. And that would give those people a different perspective and a different way of thinking. Right? So they may not like that I punch hard a little bit from time to time, but at least I'm being truthful. You know, I knew he wasn't going to do it. So I was like, yeah. I said, okay, fine. Then the next thing I see, Oshay Duke Jackson has timed out the second channel. So I went on first with Nana Kwaku channel. He timed me out. After the first comment, he timed me out. Then I came back with this one. This is when he's starting to see that the name looks familiar, but it's a bit longer. He's like, is this dude? I timed him out. So he did the timeout. It wasn't even a moderator that did it. He did the timeout at my very first comment. The very first comment I made, I said, hey, Oshay, I'm sorry that you lost this money, but maybe if it'll help if you come home. That's all I said. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. But this guy was so insecure. He just timed me out on the first comment. I said, no problem. So I came on this second one. Then I sent him a super chat of $20, which I don't know where it went because it never popped up on his screen. I was like, what the hell? So I went back and I looked at my Apple Card. I was like, yeah, the money came out. So what's up with that? I said, what's up with that? Because I use my Apple Card for super chats. I literally just use that card for super chats because I go around which is funny. Most of the money I've made on YouTube, I've just given it back to other creators. I go on other people's channels and just give them super chats, you know. On Chaotic Live, the last time I gave $200 in super chats on one live stream. You guys saw it. right? So most of the money I've made on this same YouTube, I just go back and give it to other creators, depending on what they're talking about or what's going on. So I set it up on my Apple Card for just super chats. That's all that Apple Card does. It just does super chats. I don't use that card for nothing. I just put it up for super chats and I pay it off every 30 days. That's all I did. So I went back, I looked at my Apple Card. The money came out, but Oshay is not reading it. I said, okay, fine. Then I sent a comment right after that. And then he read that comment and said, but let's go ahead and get it.
Man, why is this dude? Hold on, bro. Is it the same guy that was just in here? I just timed out, bro. You a star.
But guys, listen. How is this a bad comment? I saw this so rebel guy was in there. I figured out this guy is actually a passport bro. You know, he was in the chat yesterday, all in his feelings. He's a passport bro that identifies as FBA. So he's one of those people that are on Tariq's side, but then they go to Africa and they do degenerate, what do you call it? Degenerate sexual acts with women, sometimes children. I don't know if this guy is into the children part of it, but I wouldn't be surprised. These guys are all the same, you know. That's the state of Black America. When they go to Africa, a lot of these guys become, you know, they take advantage of little girls and they do all kinds of nonsense there in the name of we're helping this orphanage, but then they're touching on all these little girls, you know. And there were some women in the comments that were asking him real legitimate questions. This guy couldn't even allow opposing people to comment. At least I do. I let them go. Let them comment. There's a woman that comes in and asks him a very nice question, and some of his audience are cracking sexual jokes on this woman for asking real questions about, like, how do you get scammed this kind of money? And the title is misleading because the 180,000 he's talking about, it's not Oshay's money. It's like a combination of all the scams that this particular person is alleged to have schemed off other people. But that's what Oshay does. Clickbaits, misleading things. And the only reason why he's doing it is he's fled Uganda. This is why he's all of a sudden decided to like go kill mode on it, you know? And to the Ugandans that gave this guy a home and thought that he was on some Pan-African time, it proves exactly everything Nana Kwaku has been saying. If you don't let these people around, you know, in the name of all these quote unquote ancestry bullshit, then you won't have these problems. Okay. They live in their place. We live in our place. No big deal. You know, I said yesterday, just be cordial. It's not a bad thing to be cordial to all humans. I mean, you got to be cordial with all humans. You got to treat black people the same way you treat white people and the same way you treat Asians and Hispanics. That's my worldview. I treat everybody the same. And then I have another group of people that I call useless people. People that don't amount to shit. People that do bullshit. And a lot of times you find a lot of the blacks in that category. Not all of them, but some of them in there. And this is when they look at it and say, oh, this guy just hates Black Americans. No. I just hate the people in the damn corner. If you're in the damn corner, you're going to see it that way. Right? You're going to see it that way.
Walker, my nigga. You need to join the choir, bro. 80,000. Man, why is this dude? Hold on, bro. Is it the same guy that was just in here? I just timed out, bro. You a stalker, my nigga. You need to join the choir, bro. Like, this nigga just be hating on African Americans for like no reason, dog. Like, nigga, you don't got no job or nothing.
What do you mean no reason? What do you mean no reason? I give reasons for the things that I talk about. I'm not hating on somebody's. Sounds like they have something that I need. I'm not hating. I can't hate a whole group of people. You know, I've been on record for saying that I like Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels is not African American or Black American. He's Black American. I like Larry Elders. I like Officer Tatum. I like Greg from the Black Conservative Perspective. How do I know these names if I hate Black Americans? Okay. I like the Cartier brothers. I think they are friends that went to college and, you know, became conservatives, and they make some good content. I like them. I like, shout out to Messi Mitchen. I like Messi Mitchen. I listen to Messi's live streams every morning, all of it. Sometimes I go back for the playback because she be streaming all day. So I don't have problems with the general black population. I don't. I have a problem with the dumb ones. But what sucks is and if you look at my tab here, you can see that a lot of the guys that I watch are black. Look at him, Black Conservative Perspective. I watch this guy all the time. That's a new video he just dropped, which means I'm about to watch it. I just watch Afro Thinkan, who's a Pan-African. Flacco is not, I think he's Liberian, but I watch Flacco's videos from time to time. And before Corey became a piece of shit, I used to watch the 5150 show. So I don't hate these people. I just hate the dumb ones. I don't like the dumb ones. And I have a different worldview. I don't think we are the same people. That's not hate. That's just what my beliefs are. You can agree or disagree. I don't think we are the same people. Okay? But you believe you're not the same people either. That's why you say you're #FBA. I believe also we're not the same people. What is wrong with that? I say openly that we have to be cordial with black people and white people and Asians. We got to treat all of them the same. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. That's just my belief system. I have my reasons. I don't believe in cross-cultural marriages. I think Africans should marry Africans. Black Americans should marry Black Americans. And I cited my reasons for that. The reason for that is the navigating cultural dynamics is very difficult, and most of the time these marriages don't work and the children suffer. So I have my reasons for it. It may not sound politically correct, and it's not xenophobic. I give you exactly the reasons why I think it should be that way. And it doesn't mean it's factual, but it's not wrong either. You can agree with it or you can disagree with it. You got your own views, and it's not radical. It's just my beliefs. You guys just expect Africans to go with the status quo and just believe that this is how it's supposed to be. And you just have one guy now on the internet that says, no, it's not like that. It's not supposed to be like that. If anything, I'm the one that is pushing positivity in this direction. I'm just saying we got to be cordial with each other. You shouldn't be calling them booty scratchers, and they shouldn't be calling you whatever they call you, because we don't call you guys anything, right? But if we do, we should have been calling you anything as a collective. All I'm saying is you got to be cordial with all the other groups. You got to treat black people in America the same way you treat Indians, the same way you treat white people, and the same way you treat all humans. I'm pro-human. I look at all humans the same. I have the same amount of love for white America that I do for black America. I think I actually like the white Americans better because of my personal experience, because of the things they've done for me. It's just personal. The guy that gave me a scholarship and a graduate assistantship to go to Illinois State University was a white man by the name Michael Planthout. So I owe him literally my entire success, because that is what put me on a path to success. If without Mike Planthout, I don't get a job in corporate America, which is saying that I'm not working. My work laptop is right down here. I don't get a job in corporate America. I don't get out of grad school. And maybe I might have to come out of pocket to go to school. That man did all that for me. Okay? And I'm sure there are some black people that have done certain things for certain people. But in my personal experience, white folks have been very helpful to me in America. They've been helpful to me also in the church. So I don't have a problem with them. If you do, no problems. I don't care. But that is my story, my personal story. They've been very good to me. They've been very good neighbors of mine over the years. 20 years going. I've only lived in an apartment in my college years and 2 years after we moved from San Antonio to Dallas. That's 1 year. I stayed in an apartment in Fairview, Texas for 1 year. So 4 years out of my 20 years is the only time I've lived in apartments. I'm on my third home, which I still own. My second home in Ireland, it's on rental. So I don't have, I've always had good neighborly relationship with Indians and white people and other groups. And that's why I don't have a problem with them. Okay. And I won't be bullied with some theoretical thinking that I'm supposed to hate them. This is why I say that openly, and I'm not ashamed of it. Okay, I don't have problems with them at all. But let's keep going.
To do? Why are you always stalking somebody? You need to get your life together before it's too late. You know,
Oshay, my life is together, bro. My life is set. My life is set. You got to come to America and buy property here. I got property in your home country. I got mine at home ready. My life is set. I'll be retired in 8 years. You know, I got my books that I publish, real books, not the bullshit your community writes about boys and girls and women and stuff, you know? And there's a full biography here of who I am, okay? It's right here. This is a full biography of who I am in my textbooks, okay? And I'll read it to you, okay? I work in IT for a Fortune 500 pharmaceutical supply chain company where SAP systems power critical operations at the heart of the business. I hold a master's degree in math from Illinois State University and a machine learning certification from MIT's Institute for Data Systems and Society, IDSS, okay? And I wrote this book recognizing that there was a skill shortage in SAP. That's who I am. My life is figured out, okay? I work from home, I have the flexibility of work, and I manage a team in the Philippines. So I have the flexibility, I have the time. Yes, and I live in Prosper, Texas. For all these stalkers, you can come. You guys been threatening to come to my house all this time. I don't give a damn, okay? Because I speak the truth, all right? And I'm sitting right here in my home office. If I cut to my full screen, you could probably see from my other cameras. I have 3 cameras hooked up. This is me in a full frame. This is me on the side. It's a little bit dark in the background. My community is brand new. You can see that lot over there. There's no house on there. The house right across from the street, KF, if you remember, this is the house that was on foundation in October when I went to Zambia. It's not sold yet. Somebody has to buy it, okay? These are brand new homes. And this is another side of me. So my community is not even complete. It's being built. Most of Prosper is not complete. It's still being built. These are brand new homes, okay? So my life is figured out, bro. I don't need YouTube. You guys look at people's subscriber counts and you make an assumption that they need something. I don't have an alcoholic problem. You're over there drinking. I'm a very efficient and productive person. I'm able to put out 2 videos a day on the main channel, do live streams, 3 or 4 live streams at will whenever I want to do it. My books are doing great on Amazon. I'm working on 2 books this year, one on MuleSoft and one for kids in math, Singapore syllabus for mathematics. I started this book 2 years ago. I got to try to finish it up this year. So I'm doing a whole lot of shit, okay? And I got my farmhouse completed in Africa. So I'm ready to go, man. I got 8 years to retire. I got a fat 401k account that is doing great. It's been struggling a couple weeks now due to the market, you know, with all the bullshit that Trump is doing with the oil and gas stuff. But it'll come back. I'm actually, newsflash, for those of you, for the first time, I'm going to give you guys something, okay? I'm going to give you guys something. Because I've started gatekeeping my shit too. I don't know if you guys have noticed. This is why I came up with this book to help my subs. With money. And some things that I'll agree with when Oshay was doing his videos. For those of you that are still reading this book, I'll provide the update in the community tab for you to keep going and to give you some encouragement. It'll help you. I'm one of the rare YouTubers out here that publishes my YouTube earnings to my community so that everybody knows how much money my channels are making. I publish it. I show it to the whole world every month. Everybody on my YouTube channel knows how much money this YouTube channel makes. It's public information. I make it public to everybody. Secondly, I've never taken a paycheck from YouTube. My AdSense account is set up to pay out in November next year. In November of this year. What does that tell you? I don't need this shit, bro. Then, I was going to show you guys something. I'm going to be buying the ProShares Ultra Short. It's Bloomberg's crude oil thing. I'm gonna put it. I don't know. Can I put it in the chat somewhere? I'll give you guys the game, and I'll give you my reasons for buying it. Okay, the ticker is SCO. I don't do this. I don't like to help people like that anymore. I gave up on this stuff. But I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna buy this as a long position. Okay. I'm gonna buy this as a long position. I usually don't tell people this stuff anymore. And I do agree with Oshay on one thing about like the guys that come on the internet and say they can teach you stuff, you have to pay for it, and you have to give them money for them to do it for you. If that thing makes them money, they'll do it themselves, and they won't ask you to pay money to get that information. Now, a few people will do consultations here and there. I've never done consultations on YouTube. I have had people reach out to me, but I've always given them free information. Anybody, for maybe the 10 or 15 guys that have reached out to me, if you're in the comment section, you can attest to this. Anybody that has reached out to me, I don't ask you, not like these dumb people, I don't ask you what your ethnicity is when you reach out to me. I don't care if you're Black American or white American. If you reach out to me and you're human, and you have questions about things that I have some expertise in, I am willing to share that information with you for free. This is why my community events that I do on the main channel is open to everybody and it's free of charge. The only reason I dialed that back is because it's free, there's not a lot of interest. So I kind of gave up on it. I was like, you know what? I don't want to waste my time on things like that. But for the most part, I have provided free services to everybody that has reached out to me on YouTube. And now I just throw these things in my live streams and in my videos when I'm talking about stuff. And if anybody's interested in it, they do it. But I did show you guys. I've done this before on one of my live streams. I showed you guys what my trading volumes are. Okay, so I'm not hurting for money. I showed you what my trading volumes are. My wife is an attorney. We're good, man. So Oshay, see, we can have a discussion about the issues. Whether you agree or disagree, I get that. And I also understand that you come from a community where my level of achievement is not the consensus. It happens. I understand that. But it doesn't mean that you can't find people like me. Because all my friends, my immediate friends, are just like me. And some of them even more, have achieved a little bit more. And I can make an argument that I think my wife, she just got sworn into federal court of the Northern District. So she's on the way up too. So we are set. We have a very good strategic plan of when we're going to retire. Right now, really, is just to see the kids through college is pretty much what is going to keep us on a little bit. But for our retirement plan, the house is built. The house is built. There's a lot of equity on this one that we're sitting in because we sold one to buy one. So we got a lot of equity that we're sitting on this one. And we live within our means. We're very frugal people. We don't buy bling blings. We don't buy stupid Rolexes and watches. We don't buy useless stuff. We live on a strict budget. We're very frugal people because we've gone through that financial education to learn how to see and view money. We don't drink. We're not alcoholics. We don't have stupid vices. We try to improve ourselves year in and year out because everybody has some type of work to do. And we're all hands-on people. We like to work. I'm talking about me and my wife. And we are married, raising kids. What else do I need? I don't need anything, bro. I'm good. But yeah, I'm buying SCO. So to explain what SCO is, it's an ultra short. Okay, so an ultra short is you're predicting if you buy it, it's like buying a put option. Okay, so I don't want to complicate this, but this is how it works. Buying SCO means that you're predicting that oil prices is gonna fall. If oil prices drop, SCO is gonna go up. So you're going to make money. It has an inverse relationship with the price of crude oil. Okay? It's a Bloomberg derivative. If you look at the SCO chart, and maybe I can pull it up so that it explains it better, and then we'll get back to this idiot. Let's see how much more time I got. Oh, I got 9 minutes. But anyway, if you go to SEO, if you look at what SEO looks like today, it's $8.14. Okay. Why I'm buying and holding long is that the Iraq war has to kind of wrap itself. The Iranian war is going to have to wrap itself up. Now, if it goes south, I'm going to lose a lot of money. But the reason I'm buying it is I predict that it's already lost so much money already, because if you look at it a month ago, this baby was almost $15. Okay. It's lost almost 50% of its value in 1 month. Okay. So I think crude oil will settle before the end of the year. It'll probably settle at about $60. So I'm going to go in and buy a bunch of this stuff, and I'm willing to take the short-term losses for it. So I know I'll be losing money short-term. Like if you bought it today, okay, it's a little bit on the high end today because the market is very volatile. But I'm going to buy this long with the hope that I can sell this at about $12, which is, if you do the derivative, it's going to be somewhere around $65 to $70 oil. And that's very possible if the straits get open, just like that, with just this small time that we're on, it shot up again, right? So it's very volatile. But you got to have the appetite to hold on. So I'm going to buy this, but this might be the last time that I'm going to talk about some of my strategies and the way I do things. But I bring this up because I'm okay, bro. I'm doing fine. I don't have issues, man. Yeah, so I'm going to buy a shit ton of these, probably 10 to 12 grand of it, and just sit on it. That's better than buying crude or buying commodities. I like to do the ETF derivatives when I need, when I predict. I'm a little bit on the gamble side, but I'm willing to hold this out for a whole year when the oil markets kind of rebalance, because I don't think we're going to be in an endless cycle of war. But if we are going to be, then I'll be losing a lot of money. But I also think that this shit has lost enough money already. So that's a risk that I'm willing to take. So anyway, let's get back to this piece of shit.
You know what I'm saying? I done already timed you out, nigga. And now it's, nigga, you're just like, that's some bitch ass shit, my nigga. Do you want to come on to the show? Do you want to come on to the show, bro? Let me send you a link. I know you want to come on to the show, don't you? Let me finish this. I'm going to bring your punk ass onto the show. I know your bitch ass want to come over here. I'll bring you to the show so you can clip it for your little fans and all that. Come on, you want to come to the show? Go put your nice church shirt on and shit. Get some deodorant. And I'm going to send your bitch ass a link because you want to come on here and talk to Big Bro.
My deodorant.
You want to come on and talk to Big Bro? Don't worry, man. I got some more drink, nigga. I got time. I got time for you, my nigga.
I got some deodorant.
Here your chance right now. Because you going to keep stalking me until Jesus got off the cross. Motherfucker, do you want to come up? You didn't change to your 85th profile and that type shit? No.
Oshay, there is no 85th profile. There's only the Nana Kweku channel and there's a Nana Kweku live. Okay? And I came here to say that I'm truly sorry that you lost that much money. However, just go home, bro. That's all that I said, my brother. That's all that I said. Just gone on home, okay? What about all the Ugandan women that you scammed out of Nyash? All that booty clapping that you've been underpaying in Uganda. In Black America, it's $200 a box. Over there, you're paying $30. Okay? Isn't that scamming? In the words of Akinyi, isn't that scamming? Isn't that scamming? My skills money, shout out to you, bro. Isn't that scamming, Oshay? You scamming Ugandan women for bucks. You're paying $30 when in Black America it's $200. $200. Okay? So Rebel, since you pay for bucks, tell us how much is bucks in your hood? Oh, Sonny Kelly, I saw you in the live stream. He was timing. Somebody said some mean things to you when you asked him about. When you ask him a very nice question about why he's still over there in Africa. I don't remember what your question was, but I do remember seeing you in the stream, and his low testosterone fans, shoot low as usual. Like the way they treat women, the way they talk to women, it's quite embarrassing, man. Like just be nice. You can agree or disagree, man. You don't have to be that, like, talk to your women like that. You know, you don't have to talk to your women like that. This is why I say, like, this whole thing about them coming to Africa is a problem, because we don't want people that talk to women like this in Africa. We don't want that. You either come there on your best behavior or stay home. And I saw that. I did see. I saw how what that reaction was, man. What, Oshay? Please answer this question. Were all the bucks that you've been paying for in Uganda, are you not scamming Ugandans? Are you not scamming Ugandans, brother? Of course you're scamming Ugandans.
I'm gonna give him a clip, nigga. I feel generous today, nigga. Bring your motherfucking ass on here.
Okay, so this is the part where I was like, he's full of shit. If you're gonna invite me on, and I was gonna go, I really was gonna go. Like I said, I was preparing strategy. I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go strategy of interrupting him a lot, because that works. I'm teaching these guys skills. You interrupt him a lot, it'll throw him off, and because I'm looking for the crash out. And then I'll be asking him a bunch of questions without saying much. I'm just going to answer his questions with questions just to get a little bit more under his skin. And people like this, they're just going to kind of fold, and it's going to be messy, and he's going to cut the live stream. That was the goal. That's what I was trying to do. Knowing that he was drinking, I was like, yeah, that's going to work out pretty good for me, man. And this guy, the moment he said that he's going to do me a favor, I felt disrespected and offended. I said, no, you're not doing me no favors. I don't want your audience. What are you talking about? If I wanted your audience, I wouldn't have changed the other YouTube channel. I don't want your audience. Your other audience screwed up my other YouTube channel when I started doing videos of you. That's why I brought this shit over here. Okay? So I don't want your audience. You're not doing me any favors. I like my audience as currently constructed. I know my people, okay? I know Rick, okay? I know Sagat, I know KF, I know Kobe, all right? What's the, My Skins, there's also, I'm missing a few, Akinyi is over there. I know my people, man. I've been streaming to the same guys for the last maybe 6 months. So I know them on pretty much have an internet connection, and some of these guys have my direct phone numbers. And we chat up offline as well. I don't need your audience, Oshay. Keep them right there. That's the whole point. I just want you to come home. I just want you to come home, bro. That's all I'm asking for. It's not malicious. I just want you to come home. Come home to good old beautiful USA. So that me and you, we can work together in the black community, okay? Nana is about to start some evangelicism in Black America. So me and Oshay, with your platform, we can do some work together. How about that?
I nigga know you want to come on. I'm gonna get.
I interrupted a lot. I'm going to go back a little bit, so I'll let it play out without interrupting. It's a lot easier that way.
But I think she's back in the States, but if she ever come back to Uganda, I'm about to buy like $1,000 worth of cookies and get hella heart disease. Them motherfuckers was good. So I'm like looking after they, like they kids and shit, they fucking with me and everything like that. I love them. I still love them so much. So that he didn't get them, right? Boom. Let's fast forward. Now I had told y'all this story because niggas always telling stories long as fuck, because that's what we do. So I get an email one day. Jonita was on the email that day or whatever, you feel me? So Jonita said, you gotta look at this shit right here. Now, before we had got an email, somebody said that he had scammed them, right? We didn't have no proof. This dude from the Netherlands. Dude from the Netherlands hit us up, said, listen, man, this dude Grafton, I invested in his business, 180,000. Man, why is this dude? Hold on, bro. Is it the same guy that was just in here? I just timed out, bro. You a stalker, my nigga. You need to join the choir, bro. Like this nigga just be hating on African Americans for like no reason, dog. Like, nigga, you don't got no job or nothing to do. Why are you always stalking somebody? You need to get your life together before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? I done already timed you out, nigga. And now it's nigga, you're just like that's some bitch ass shit, my nigga. Do you want to come on to the show? Do you want to come on to the show, bro? Let me send you a link. I know you want to come on to the show, don't you? Let me finish this. I'm gonna bring your punk ass onto the show. I know your bitch ass want to come up here. I'll bring you to the show so you can clip it for your little fans and all that. Come on, you want to come to the show? Go put your nice church shirt on and shit. Get some deodorant, and I'm gonna send your bitch ass a link because you want to come on here and talk to Big Bro. You want to come on talk to Big Bro? Don't worry, man. I got some more drink, nigga. I got time. I got time for you, my nigga. Just let me know. Hear your chance right now. Because you gonna keep stalking me until Jesus got off the cross. Motherfucker, do you want to come up? You didn't change to your 85th profile and that type shit. I'm gonna give him a clip, nigga. I feel generous today, nigga. Bring your motherfucking ass on here. I nigga know he want to come on. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to decide, nigga. You bring your ass and stop stalking people, bro. You crazy. So anyway. Until you leave Africa. That nigga living in Canada talking about until I leave Africa. Nigga, I tell you what, you come back to Africa, I go to America. Let's do a trade. So anyways, boom. We end up, I got the email from a brother from the Netherlands. And I don't even know what to say. And me and TJ briefly hand him out. We feel bad for the guy. But ain't nothing that we can say about it, right? Because the dude then packed his shit up and left. He bounced. He gone. This nigga gone somewhere. He didn't shut the farm down. Tina didn't left. They didn't left their investors, whoever it is, high and dry. That's a Haitian dude. Now, I'm not saying that Haitians ain't, I much love to Haitians because you got Black Americans that scam. But he left them to die. They brought their family out here and everything. They had no recourse. And when I'm reading this shit, I'm like, man, should I say something about it? Like it was bothering.
You know why he said that? Because he had a few guys from Uganda join his stream. Because this is his Kenganda channel, right? So this is his Kenganda channel. He had a few guys that he know personally in Uganda that joined the stream. So he thought through it a little bit and didn't want to say some offensive things because these people have helped him out. He also talked about a Kenyan professor here in the US that wrote recommendation statements. So guys that have tried to apply to college, you probably know this. Sometimes you need that as part of your admissions package, application package. So looking for people to write recommendation letters, sometimes it's very difficult. Normally you need a professor. I've had a lot of those problems getting that from my school because, when I left Illinois in 2013, most of the guys are now retired. Most of my professors are already out of the system. So I really struggle to get letters of recommendation if I try to add more education. So I get a lot of mine nowadays through work, but work and academia are two different things, and it's quite difficult. I like the academic ones if I'm going to do a program, a degree. So he talks about a guy helping him out that was Kenyan in America get into Howard, which he actually got admission into Howard. So Africans been helping some of these guys out. And I think this is what pushed him to say this and a little bit of the alcohol. But his actions have not shown any likeness towards the African people. And I'm not complaining about that. The same way I don't expect them to complain when I criticize them. I don't want you to complain about it either. So I'm not going to complain about whether he likes Africans or he doesn't. We'll take him at his word and his action. I don't care. Frankly, I don't care if Oshay doesn't like anybody. I don't care if Oshay hates every single Ugandan. All I care about is, will Oshay come home? Because I think he's a CIA work. I think he's dangerous to the African society and African cultures. That's the only problem that I have with Oshay. I just don't want his influence on the continent. If he was just a regular Black American guy that went to Africa, that doesn't have a mouthpiece to spew propaganda and lie about my people, I'll have no problems with him. The problems I have with Oshay is he has a big platform, mostly of idiots, right? Let's just be honest, the Tariq people, mostly of Tariq idiots. And you could see that in the live chats, you could see that those were the people. They were all Tariq people. They were using the FBA and to interchangeably with Black America. Those people. That's what Oshay has. And if you have those people, then I don't think you have any business with Africa. Now, if you are some general Pan-African guy or Black American guy that wants to go to Africa for whatever reason it is, I don't have a problem. You go. Go do you. As long as you leave all the bullshit and you are not a negative influence to my people, I don't care. I don't. I really don't. There's other things that I care about, which I've already said openly. I don't hide these things. I say it openly. But Oshay is not good for us. It's not good business for Africans. And he knows that I oppose him. I mean, at least I'm letting him know to his face. I'm not like sitting in a corner somewhere plotting stuff. I'm just telling him, going into his live streams, making videos about him, tagging him in the videos, letting him know that I don't appreciate him being there. And, he can agree, disagree. I don't care. I'm just making it known. That's all it is. Yeah, but that analogy, going through problems, figuring it out, why do you have to use that in the same sentence as an African? As if all the Africans are going through problems. These are the narratives, If he was here in the West, they'll say white supremacy. I don't believe in that bullshit too. But anyway, why are you doing an analogy about Africans with negativity, that they're going through stuff? What about the kids that I went to school with? The kids that I went to school with, I went to MIT and Harvard. My own classmates. What about those guys? They were not struggling, going through stuff, figuring stuff out. They had both parents. They went to an elite boarding school, Achimota School. Shout out to Achimota School. That had produced presidents. And then they got admission to world-class universities. Those were not struggling. Those are Africans. What about that Kenyan professor that gave you that recommendation letter to go to school? You should make those examples. See, these people talk about how people see Black people in general. I'm not talking about just the Americans, but all Black people across the world. People associate us with negativity, but we do it subconsciously without even noticing that we're doing it. You just picked up Africa, and the next thing that followed Africa was struggling, going through things. And it sounds like you're onto something and you're saying something. But if you dial it back and you break it down, all he's saying is that these motherfuckers don't have shit. That's all he's saying. He's like, these motherfuckers don't have shit. So, I see myself in them going through stuff. It's not every Black person that grows up in a struggle, including here in America. There are Black kids here in the suburbs, right? And I'm talking Black more generally, everybody that has a dark skin. I see them here in the suburbs cycling and doing their own things. They're not going through stuff. It could be maybe some mental stuff that may be going through, or some, disabilities here and there. I get that. But that's not what Oshay is saying. These are the problems that I have with these Westerners when they go to Africa. That, first of all, they've not studied enough about the people. Secondly, somebody was saying in his comments that we are transactional people. I said, what? We are transactional people? No, you guys are transactional people. We don't have money. You transact when you have money. For the most part, a majority of people on the continent don't have money like that relative to the Americans. And this is in comparison to America, right? They don't have the bank the way the Americans do. They just have enough for themselves and for their communities. Like I make that analogy, I made that statement yesterday that I figured out I can retire on $300 a month beautifully, based on what I've currently set up. Over here, you can't even pay a light bill with $300, okay? But relative to things, you say they're poorer, but if you look at their value and what they get for that $300, are they really poor? That's what I'm saying. Are they really poor? If you can get a roof over your head, utilities, water, and solar panel lights, and you can grow some of your food, and all you have to come out of pocket every month is $300 for some transport and the little things here and there. I think that's good living. Not so? I really think that's good living. especially later on in life when you're about to retire, that's decent living. Okay. But there you go. That's they are complaining, forever complaining. They don't see you as you see them. We're not supposed to see you as anything. You're a gringo. why is it that whenever it comes to only Africa, we're supposed to see people a certain way? You're a gringo. When you start speaking, people know that you're a gringo. Do you see me the same way as you see your people? No, you don't. You guys have been calling me Africans ever since I stepped in Chicago. Right? Even when I'm not wearing dashiki, you can call me African. And I'm not offended by it. That's who I am. Yes. So what are you talking about? They don't see you the way you see them. That's your cooked up liberal education that has given you this set of excuses to put up against Africans as if it's like a guilt trip. Like they're forcing you into a corner to tell you that, hey, we're one of you, but you don't see us as one of us. No, you were never one of us. You have some ancestry from multiple countries in Africa, because you have to respect the fact that I don't care if it's colonial borders or not, you got to respect the fact that we are all independent countries right now. That's what it is. It's not going to change. I don't care what your ideology is about the fact or how you feel about this. Ghanaians don't want Cabo Verde to be part of Ghana. Cabo Verdeans don't want Ghana to be part of Cabo Verde. We are content with the current structure. All that the Africans are asking is we need to integrate and still recognizing that we're separate countries. So we're separate countries, separate cultures, different languages, even different colonial languages, like Portuguese in Cabo Verde and in Mozambique and Angola, French in the Congo, English in Lesotho and Eswatini and Malawi. Right? So clearly, even for the colonial sense, we're different in terms of languages. But can I send some yams to Malawi? And can the Malawians send me some pumpkin leaves? Sure. That's what they're talking about. But these guys in the West, these Pan-Africans, are thinking of a Cuban-style revolution where we just go ahead and we just combine these countries and we all become socialists. No, it's not going to happen. Keep that bullshit here. That's not what we want. Keep that bullshit in America. That's not what we want, okay? If you have a fantasy for a socialist, all-African experiment, you guys can go carve out some land in Arizona and build it out. Show us how, since you've done it, you've did it before, prove to us that you can do it again. That's all I'm saying. Go over there to Arizona, put all some black money together, start putting up some houses, put out some roads, start the build, prove to the world that you can build your own society, communities, create your own little dollar or whatever, or use the US dollar since it's still America, and then make that into what you want it to be. Don't come over there to Africa thinking that you're about to start a project of putting these pre-colonial borders back in when people have lived in this generation after generation and they are comfortable in their spaces. Some have formed even nationalistic views about who they are now. You're not going to break that up. Europeans are separate countries and they are integrating in terms of economics and education and some other things, science, all that stuff. That's all Africa needs to do. That's it. All the other wishful thinking lists that these, Western people are bringing to us, we're not interested. And I don't know how many times we have to say this. They don't want to listen, but that's the truth. We're not interested. And that is where a lot of their frustration comes from. A lot of their frustration comes from the fact that they're dreaming of a socialist, all-black country where we have just us. Africans are not trying to do that. Africans are not thinking of making furniture and sending it to Europe and selling and making some capital, building the economics, because they've understood free enterprise. That's the only thing that leads to development. Free enterprise It's what gave us telecommunications. This is why you can sit in Africa right now and live stream. Okay? The reason you can live stream in Africa with internet and your lights on is because of the private sector. We allowed for competition so that these companies can come in from wherever in the world they can come from and compete fairly. We don't need to nationalize anything, because I grew up in Ghana during the nationalization projects that had first started with Kwame Nkrumah through a Champon and went all the way down through Rawlinson's first PNDC. And it was not good. All those state organizations failed because the government is a bureaucracy. Only the private sector can fix these problems for us. Okay? So if you guys are on this fetish about socialism, go do it somewhere else, man. Don't bring it to the Africans. We don't care. We don't want that shit. And I'll call out these same Pan-Africans because they are the ones that have this wish list talking about Burkina Faso and all these places. Do they know that Burkina Faso is one of the countries that just signed Trump's free information things to give out free digital information about their people in exchange for health benefits? Zambia declined it. And all of a sudden, they're all quiet about it. What about the Ghanaian citizenship? We gave them citizenship. They're quiet about it. A week ago, when it was a problem, they were all loud on the internet. This guy went on a whole live stream about it. What is a Go Black to Africa dude? What a loser. Went on a big old live stream about it, calling out my Ghana, the one country that has given them this opportunity, which I hate. I fucking hate the shit out of it. I'm just being honest. I hate it, you know? I hate it. If I can campaign against any government that keeps pushing this policy of year of return, all the returning to what? They were never there. They were never there. They were never Ghanaians. I mean, you're talking 400 years. They don't know the land. They got a land over here. They got homes over here. They got communities over here. So we are adding to the confusion too. Our people, we are adding to the confusion, telling these people that they have some motherland and some ancestral home somewhere that they've never been. And when they come and the amenities and the things are not the same, they start to complain about us. Leave us alone,
Thanks
man.
for the sub.
Leave us alone. Shout out to you, Emily, for subscribing to the channel. Yeah, leave us alone, man. Come in, be cordial, make friends. If you find your African family and you want to do something with them, do it with them. But you do it at your own risk. If any of you need any information about the continent of Africa, I've traveled it extensively. I can share it with you for free. I don't need any dollars to give you that information. And the things that Oshay is complaining about, if I knew him then, he probably won't fall into this bullshit. Because these people deal with people that don't have anything. And this is also a life lesson for all of us. I don't care what your race or your ethnicity is. This is a life lesson for all of us. There's a lot of liars on the internet. There's a lot of people that lie about who they are and what they have and what they don't have. Like they lie on the internet. All you need is a microphone. So you have to do your due diligence and you have to vet. But if you can't vet people, the easiest thing is the lie has to lead to something, right? And most of the time, the thing is money. The lie has to lead to money. So the way you cipher this, and I think Oshay mentioned it and I'll agree with him. The way you siphon through this is there a cash app? Is there a course they are selling? Is there some information they are withholding with the goal of monetizing this? That's enough for you to tune out. That's a scam. Get out of it. You know, if people want to support your channel, it should be limited to the YouTube partner program. That's it. Views, clicks, supers. That's it. Anything beyond that, you don't have to do it. You just don't have to do it. Because, yeah, those things are designed, first of all, to support the fact that you got to turn on the lights to do what we're doing. You got to sometimes buy some equipment, which is a computer and some microphones, some lights, and some cameras. Okay, let's just be honest. These things cost a little bit of money. Okay. But some of us, we improvise. This microphone is 8 years old, right? So some of us, we look around, we improvise. You start with a cell phone, then you move on to some other things, then you add on a few things, and you just find things that you already have, and you can just start doing the content. You start with that, and then you occasionally improve on the things that you have. Maybe add some software, and add a little bit of this, add a little bit of that, to constantly improve on the experience. And most of the times, you should be able to cover that with just the views and the supers. You should be able to cover that. Once we get out of the creation space to start telling people to sign up to some Discord, to some Patreon, to send you money on Cash App when you're sleeping and not doing shit, because that's what these Cash App things are. Oh, yeah, support the channel. But you're sleeping. You're not streaming. You're sleeping. Why should I support somebody that is sleeping? I've never understood it, right? And Oshay doesn't do it. He doesn't have Cash Apps in his then. I think he has a Patreon, but most creators do. If you find value in that Patreon and you want to be part of it, that's fine. I don't have that shit. I don't have time for it. Okay. I give out my stuff for free. I put out that information. You want it, take it. You don't want it, leave it. This month we're reading our book. If you want to read it, I told you I don't have an affiliate link. You could go to the library. I got mine from the local library. I kid you not. You see? I got mine from the local library. Property of the town of Prosper Community Library. That's where I got my book from. I didn't buy it. I picked up mine from the library. And I told you, go to the library and get one. If you don't have library card, you need to get one. And if you really like the book, then you can go online, Google it, and buy your copy. I recommend that you own a copy. I'm gonna buy me a copy because it's a live book. I've read this I'm on my 4th read of this book. That's how much I cherish it, and just so much. It's giving me so much. It really has. It's really giving me so much. That's why I shared it with the wider community. I said, hey, get in there, read that book. It'll give you a few ideas about how to save money. This is not a get-rich book. This is not a how to make money book. This is the other side of the equation. How to save money. How to view, not really save money, but your relationship with money. How to treat money. How to question impulsive buying. Some of the things that you're supposed to buy and not to buy. Stuff like that people are not really aware of. It's a book of pretty much financial awareness that will lead to financial independence. That's the only reason why I brought this book up, for people to read. All right, let's keep going. We're going to wrap this up here because I got to go. Whenever these people talk, they give you a very beautiful description of their community. I'm like, really? See, this is when I get into trouble, right? Because is part of what he's saying true? Yeah, I think so in some cases, but it's in very limited cases, very, very limited cases, and this is the new state of YouTube. They've gone on a conscious effort to mask the real data because it's very uncomfortable. And the reason they are masking it is they don't want to work on it. They know for a fact that they cannot straighten out the situation they have with relationships and women. I get that, because that's why they went on a whole 10-year run with the Kevin Samuels bullshit, right? So they knew that wasn't going to happen after all that stuff they said about women. You can build families with the same women that you said this about over the years. Then they also have to address the issue of the YNs, which I think has gotten much worse. Because I have a whole 20-year history of this. So I know when things are getting better, right? Like we said the other day when we looked at Rwanda, where things were horrible, but the Rwandese powered through it. And then I went back to Rwanda in 2019, and it was a completely different country. And it was amazing. Amazing. Like, I couldn't believe that a group of black people in Rwanda who hated each other would reconcile and build one of the most beautiful cities that any black group has built on the planet. Absolutely beautiful and clean and organized, right? It proved to the world that black people can organize and build too, for the first time. At least there was one city on the planet, and this nobody really talks about it, but there's one city on the planet that we can build, that you can fully claim that was built and done by black people. It's Kigali, okay? Kigali in Rwanda. And it was built by two opposing tribes that were killing each other, almost 1 million plus deaths. Only 2026 now? 32 years ago. That's amazing. So all this happened in my lifetime. In my lifetime. Amazing, right? Very beautiful thing. But when you hear these things, these Oshays and the thing talk, it's collective trauma bonding. They need to feel good about themselves, right? They really do. I understand why they need that. But let's not sit here and pretend that this is a loving and lovely community. It's not. It's not. And ignore the bigger issues of why we have 80% of children being born out of wedlock. That's not sustainable. At some time, that system is going to break, and it's already broken, right? The mindset has to change. And it's so triggering that nobody really can talk about it. Because it's very easy to assign an ism to you the moment you talk about it. The racism, systemic issues, they have excuses. It's a piled up list of excuses that they can use. It's anything but to actually address the issue. And when they even want to address the issue, they'll talk about how the government is not funding black schools or black neighborhoods or black this. It's always the money has to come from somewhere. And we've lived this cycle of excuses, and people are, if that's how you want to live it, that's fine. It's your community, deal with it. But don't come back here on YouTube, an open platform like this, and pretend that these issues is not part of who you are. It is. And actually, it's a more dominant part because, see, negativity is always going to lead and sell. The same way when he talked about Africa, he attached struggling to it to start. Even if people are not struggling, it doesn't matter how much work we do in Africa. If we come out of our struggles, people are always going to associate that with the kid that has flies on his face and is hungry and is walking around with no sandals and doesn't use any deodorant, because he used that on me. Me, somebody that has worked hard my entire life, went to a good school in Ghana and went to school. I literally went to school. I didn't skip school in Ghana. I was not truant. I was going into school every day, getting through my exams, passing my exams, and going to college and completing college. I made my own decisions to go to college at an early age. These are decisions I made as an 18-year-old. My parents didn't have to make that for me. I made a decision on what I was interested in learning and what I wanted to learn. And I built a habit of going to libraries, and that's what I'm teaching my children too. My parents did what they could do, but I did a lot of this stuff on my own too. A lot of it I actually did on my own. This is why when I do my community activities, I push independent study, because independent study is the way you explore academically. Like it adds an exploration layer to your learning process. And I think it's a much better way to learn. Independent study is a much better way to learn. So we shouldn't be looking at this. And I'm not saying this to knock them or whatever it is. I'm just saying that you got plenty of work to do. Don't make it look like it's so good in here. And what I feel is they've given up on doing the work. Like in the early Al Sharpton phases, and I don't like him. I don't care for him. Roland Martin, Al Sharpton, all these guys, the Tyler Perrys, like there was a phase where things were popping. They were starting to go into the right direction. LeBron's I Promise School, and like they were starting to go back into these same neighborhoods and recognizing that education would be the main fixer. And that was good for them. They did that. But they couldn't maintain that infrastructure. They couldn't keep it going long term. And it feels like right now people have given up and they are just moving away from addressing the issues, and that's pretty sad. Anyway, I got to catch a meeting here. Let's see. All right, I got to get into a meeting. Let's set this up. All right. So we'll see you guys in the next one. I gotta get into this meeting real quick.